So Hell is Us is coming out in September, very early to get this pre-order, but there is two different versions. You have got the standard versus the deluxe. You've got the standard edition coming in at £50 on the Xbox, and then you've got the deluxe coming in at $66. Obviously CD keys and other places might be different prices, but in general we're going to go over these two editions. The description of it is Hell is Us is a third-person action adventure with a semi-open world, and its main kind of aspect is to go for an intense melee combat with a thrill of exploration. Like I say, you've got a semi-open world to uncover, and the two different versions are going to be as standard. So in the very much standard edition, you will get yourselves a lovely military pack. You'll also get 72 hours early unlock, deluxe editions only for that. With obviously the military pack, that is just with the standard, and you will get the game in itself. With the deluxe edition then, we're going to get a few different packs. A lot of it is going to be more cosmetic, if anything. The deluxe edition comes with a Hollow Walker skin, plus one additional skin for Remy. We have the digital art book, we have the secret in-game code, which we don't know anything about just yet, and also the digital soundtrack. We'll also get the Hollow Walker skin, plus one additional for the drone as well. So it is predominantly looking for kind of cosmetic, if anything. The main thing as well with the deluxe edition is going to be the 72-hour early unlock. So pretty much you are paying for cosmetic items and a little bit of an early access. So the question is, should you do it? That's going to be the big one. I personally don't mind necessarily going for an early access to some extent. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that that is what early access and deluxe editions now equate to, but I can kind of get where people are going. With this one specifically, now this is where the early access does kind of come down to a big factor for me, is it's not online, so there's no bonus for that, but then also, as much as yes, it is one of the more anticipated games, it's not necessarily a massive name on my part, so I personally would just go with the standard. Even with the cosmetic that unfortunately isn't necessarily sold separate, it isn't necessarily enough for me to warrant paying an extra £15 just to get it 72 hours early, which 3 days if anybody was wondering. So for me, I think it's quite a standard one. I would go with the £50 version. Obviously, if you wanted to wait a little bit longer, then you could get this maybe on a deal after a few months. I can't imagine it to stay at 50 very much for a long term, because when you look at most kind of like AAA games, they're kind of coming in at 70 on the bat now for just the standard. So the fact that it's starting at 50 does indicate to me that I can imagine this will probably drop down pretty quickly. It'll be on a deal at the very minimum, or at least you will get something later on kind of from the CD keys world or anything like that. They will more than likely have products where it is a little bit cheaper. So you've got September 4th for the standard, and you've got the 1st of September for the deluxe. Let me know down below what you're going for, and let me know if you've been anticipating this game a little bit more than myself. We might have a look at it, but to be honest, it isn't necessarily one that I personally would go for.